I see you and you see me. Watch you blowing the line when you're making a scene. Oh girl, you've got to know what my head overlooks. The senses will show. Private eyes, they're watching you. They see your every move. Private eyes, they're watching you. Private eyes, watching you.
How do you say hello in Italian?
Pizzeria.
Sure.
Buongiorno pizzeria.
Buongiorno pizzeria.
Welcome everyone to LMNOP, the podcast where we talk about everyone's favorite television show,
The
Elementary.
Animaniacs.
The what?
The Animaniacs. They just brought it back.
They brought it back.
They brought it back.
Steven Spielberg is attached.
Uh-huh.
Do you know how he's attached?
By the hip.
But
Steven Spielberg is an Animaniac.
he's the fourth one.
Yeah.
The bonus Jonas.
He's their grandpa.
Oh,
Yeah.
the grandpa.
Yeah, the grandpa.
We haven't caught up. We haven't watched all of the new remake of the Animaniacs, so...
I
we
haven't
gotten
watched
to
any of it.
The grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just
I just
know.
decided he's the grandpa because he's Steven Spielberg and that seems appropriate.
By the way, listeners, you might be wondering, who's this hilarious third voice that I'm hearing? It's not your inner demon. We have a special guest on today. So before we introduce ourselves, you may know her from Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die Not a Threatchess Effect. You may know her from Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses. You may even know her from Nana Roy's Nightmare in Era, the new podcast on Noisepace.xyz about creepypasta that's very funny. We have a very special guest today, Roy!
Hey, pew, 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 pew. It's me, Roy, also known as Nana Roy, also known as the woman liker.
Ah!
Hey,
The woman like
what
her.
can I say? It's true. I see a girl and I say, hey, that's good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Y'all hear about girls?
I have. I heard they're everywhere.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Pleased to say.
Well, you're Roy the girl liker. I'm
Yeah.
the host, Bellflight Cub, a.k.a. Joey Wheeler voice. You are my fucking little friend.
And I'm confused as heck. Which is not new for me, Alec Farquharson, your other host, a.k.a. Not So Mellow Yellow.
Oh.
Oh.
A reference to the episode.
Yeah.
It's usually what I try to do.
Today we are talking about Elementary, not Animaniacs,
Oh,
but Elementary.
well, that's just wacko.
Hello. This episode is season 1, episode 23, The Woman, period. Now, we did have a little mix-up in that The Woman is the first of a two-part episode, but apparently on where you were watching it, it was the first half of one episode?
Yeah, I couldn't get to it on Hulu for personal finance reasons. So I had to go and use Jeff's horrible website to
Boo.
access it. I had to pay $3 of American money to
No!
watch what the website did not tell me was 2 episodes that they had just put together into 1 hour and a half long video streaming file thing.
Oh, no.
Well, guess who's
And I
coming
didn't-
back next week?
And I didn't know this was happening until I was talking to you, Val, over the internet, and you said, "Oh, we're only watching the first episode," and I said, "The first of excuse me," because I was like 20 minutes from the end of the second half of it. I mean, now here's the good thing. I got to see twice as much Natalie Dormer as I thought I was going to. Mm-hmm. And it was good.
It's good. And you
So I'm
got
not going to complain.
Yes. And you got to not only see the reveal at the end, but also, more stuff of the after the reveal.
Yeah.
This is me not trying to spoil it. I was going to start by talking about the poll that we took. So on our Twitter, I had a poll that said, this episode ends with a reveal. Do you know what it is? And 10 people responded. And 8 of them didn't know about this reveal.
Oh.
So that's pretty interesting.
And one of the people that did know about it was me.
Did you answer the poll?
Yeah.
On our Twitter?
Yeah, well, you tweeted it.
Engagement is engagement.
Engagement is engagement.
So yeah, so we're gonna be keeping it under a lid, keeping a tight lid on it till we get to that part.
I'm zipping my damn lip.
Bzzz. That's the zipper sound.
Yeah.
So to start off the episode, the reason that my nickname was Joey Wheeler Voice, you are my fucking elevator friend, is because that is the mood right from the jump.
It is the mood.
So we have the previously on Elementary, you know, and it ends with Sherlock being like, "It's Irene," and then it picks up immediately after him doing that, and then he's like, "Irene!" So he runs over to her, and like it's like he like grabs her face, and it's hard to tell if he's like mad or like in love or, you know, it's complicated.
He's going nutty with it. He's
like
just
he's-
having a normal one.
Yeah, feeling a lot of emotions.
It's a lot all at once. And she has feelings right back, very intense.
Yeah.
She like pushes him away and scratches him on the face, and then
It's what I do.
he, like when I'm reunited with a love, I don't know what to do.
Every time Fallon gets home from work and they walk in the door, I run over and I scratch their face. And I don't say anything. And
No.
they say, "Mr. President," and then we have the rest of the day.
And then it's just a normal Tuesday.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like when, like, I don't know if this is true of other pets, but when birds get really excited as pets, they get, like, you could just get them, like, really jacked up, and then they don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know what they're gonna do, and they don't know. Like, they could be, like, so happy from you petting them, or, like, saying, like, "Hi," that they bite you. It's like that, but person.
The worst a dog will do is knock you over.
Yeah.
When I was gone for a week last summer, when I came home, Balto practically jumped into my arms.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. And he's a very heavy dog.
No, he's a very tiny 55 pounds.
He's big boned, but the big bone is the one that we give him to chew. So yes, Irene is having a normal one, and so is Sherlock, and Joan is also there.
Joan is also there.
And then we pretty much immediately cut to 2 years ago in London when they first meet. So Sherlock walks into this apartment, and Irene, in a very, very convincing American accent, says, "Are you the PI?" And he's like, "Consulting detective," and she's like, "How is that different from a PI? I'm from America and I love burgers."
Whose American accent is better, Natalie Dormer in Elementary or Johnny Lee Miller in Eli Stone?
Natalie Dormer for sure, because her American accent is actually like pretty convincing, but then like there'll be one syllable that's off. I feel like Johnny Lee Miller kind of forgot like for whole words in Eli Stone. But yeah, Natalie Dormer, there were moments where it was like, if you didn't know, you might not know.
Yeah, it's like her cadence is still very British. Like the way she says entire sentences feels very English. But like each individual word is like, okay, yeah, that's like 93% American. I feel that. But then it's like when you take the whole thing, kind of a reverse Monet. I don't know what you would call that.
Oh, like
It does the opposite of what Monet did. This is a painting episode, so we should I should know something about art
Monet's,
here.
the closer you get, the less it makes sense, but for hers it's the yeah. It's
Yeah.
like nope, I don't have I don't know what a reverse Monet would be.
Yeah, it's something where the farther back you go, the less it makes sense, but then when you zoom in real close, then it makes sense.
You see it.
Then you see it.
Maybe like one of those photos that's made up of a bunch of other photos.
Oh yeah, like a mosaic. Okay,
You know?
yeah.
Each photo is a pixel.
I like that. Yeah, it's pixels. It's Adam Sandler pixels to me.
Yeah, she just said like she has a couple words where she's like director,
Yeah.
and you know that's not where she had to go there. She had to mush her words into that sound.
Yeah.
So this is their meeting, and you know it's a very Sherlock kind of time way for them to meet. He's consulting her about a recreation or something, and she says that like every fucking artist in a dramedy says this as their like pickup line, where she's like, "Hi, I'm Irene Adler. Oh, you're beautiful. Your face is so symmetrical." It's just like every artist that's like trying to get with someone is like, your face is really symmetrical. I love symmetry.
I would love to paint you.
Yeah.
Not a portrait of you. Just, I love to paint right on your body.
Right on your butt cheeks. It looks like
I
you
want
have
to
a
give you
lot
some
of...
face paint. I want to make you into a little kitty. Put a star
your
right
face
over your
is-
eye. Make you a kissed man.
You'd make a great taigi. So, Irene is a restorations expert, and she's like, yeah, the Turners that you were given are, you know, they're good forgeries, but they're forgeries because there's ochre paint in them, and ochre needed turmeric, and turmeric was not available in the time of the Afghan War in 1938.
Damn, you were paying attention, huh?
Yeah, I watched this episode twice.
The whole time I was just thinking okra's a vegetable.
Okra.
Okra, yeah. Was that not what she was saying? I assumed it was like an ochre, like green color that she was talking about.
Ochre.
Ochre! It's my
Ochre.
Cardi B impression.
Ochre. It's not a very good Cardi B impression. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to say.
you should work on yours. You're right.
We're all working on our Cardi B impressions.
Again, being mean to me in front of a guest.
Also, when she said the thing about symmetry, all I could think of was like those things where they take like a person's photo and they like double one side of it, or they reverse one side of it, so it looks kind of fucked up. And I put an image in our little chat there if you want to see it, because I found a fitting example.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is Lucy Liu with the symmetry.
Oh, here's a really good one.
Original.
Her left symmetry is pretty good.
Yeah, something about her right eye is maybe a little more closed or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. She smiles the same way I do.
How do you smile and...
Well, just like one eye closes a little bit more.
Oh, God. What is this Khaleesi photo?
Looks like a Bratz doll with a skinny
She
neck.
does look like
Yeah. Her face looks really similar, though.
Yeah.
Kinda
That's
crazy.
maybe the weirdest part, because it looks like her normal, regular face, pretty much, but just on this tiny little chicken neck that I don't like looking at.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture that's like the Dragon Ball Z characters with a line down the center of them and all of their necks are like completely on one side?
God.
I'll pull it up for Alec. I can't
For
find it.
reference.
Just believe me.
I do.
Yeah. I reference shit all the time that Alec does not know about, and he just goes, Our podcast listeners will like it.
I mean, they will.
So she goes through all of that with him, and she's like the ochre, the turmeric, etc.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, well, thanks. And then he just kind of like stands there for a second.
Well, first off, he's like, oh, I should have realized that. And I would have if I had a little more time.
Yeah, he's like, how did I not put that together yet?
He says, I'm not owned.
No.
And then he kicks a rock.
Yeah. And then he's like, so, how come you have, because these are all these, her apartment's full of paintings. And he's like, so these are all your reproduction paintings. Except that one? Why do you have an original of this painting?
And she's like, what original?
Yeah.
And then he says, well, actually, here's the thing about me is that I'm smart. So, I figured out that it has the same, damage, the same damage to it. And, like, if you were just restoring it, you wouldn't have gone to the lengths of recreating the damage or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, well, the thing of that is that they were going to be mean to the painting, and I wanted to protect it, so it's here now. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing crimes about it.
No one's going to hurt you here.
Yeah, you're safe with me.
And Sherlock is like, well, what if I went around your apartment and I guessed which of your paintings were originals and which ones you had forged? No. Which ones were recreations and which ones were the stolen originals? And if I get them all right, you'll go on a date with me. Unless you don't want to, and then you won't.
But either way, you won't be going to jail, because this shit's pretty cool.
It's kind of cool. Yes.
Yep.
The advanced detective move of determining that a crime has been committed and also that you don't care.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
There's we were reading Agatha Christie books, and we read Murder on the Orient Express. Mm-hmm. And the victim in that is like a really bad dude, and he kidnaps and kills children. And the detective is like, so I figured out who did it. Here's how it happened. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nobody did it. It's really fine.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can tell people that. I'm fine with that.
God, I read that in like the 6th grade. What the fuck?
It's good. It's a good book. Did you read it? Did you read it while out loud with a bad French accent? For the detective Hercule Poirot.
I wasn't smart enough to do that at that point.
Well, he is Belgian, so...
Yeah, so there you go. I did do a funny and very good Belgian accent, though.
One man's bad French accent is another man's great Belgian accent.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's no way to know what people in Belgium sound like.
We'll never find out.
Our best guess is the correct answer.
Sorry for the truth.
Sorry to drop a truth bomb. In the show of Elementary, Sherlock is like, listen, I don't want to coerce you into going on a date with me, but if I guess this, would you want to go on a date? And she was like, does it have to be a date, or could we just?
Can we just
do
smash?
some finger painting?
My air horns go off. She says, "Why don't we just smash?" Mm-hmm. And he says, "Okay." And presumably they just smash.
He's like, a game with proper stakes, then. You think if he got one wrong, she would be like, well, goodbye.
Probably.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I was wet and now I am not. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Dried right up. Yep.
So we go to present day. We're back into the present, and Irene is in the doctor. Nope. What?
She's in the doctor. She's been shrunk down to a minuscule size.
She's riding around the magic school bus in the doctor. No. She's in the hospital, and the doctor is saying to her, I know it's hard to believe, but the current year is 2013. And I said, that is hard to believe, because it's not correct.
I'm here in the future.
And then
2020.
And she said, my captor told me that I had 7 birthdays, which I'm just realizing now doesn't mean she thought it was 2020, because it was 2 years ago, so she actually thought it was 2018. So never mind.
Yeah. That would have been cool, though.
Would have been.
If she was like, I could have sworn today was December 20th, 2020. Looks directly at the camera.
See, now that would have been appropriately spooky and cursed, considering I'm here. Mm-hmm. And we would have had another haunted episode like every fucking time I try to record Nightmare in Era, where something goofy has to happen. And it hits a little bit too close to home. Yeah.
Is that why I couldn't find my notebook? Was because you spooked it and it ran away?
It's gotta be.
It was under the couch. It was hiding under the couch.
I just have too much of a scary aura. It went through the internet. It climbed into my microphone. It went through the cords. It went through the wires. It went through the online. It came out on your end. And it turned your brain inside out.
My notebook was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Notebook said, you're podcasting with Roy? I'm not having any part of this.
I'm out. I'm outie.
Count me out. Yep.
Of here.
Yeah. I am outie of here.
It's a book. It's not super smart. So Irene is, she's having a bad time. the doctor goes to talk to Sherlock and Joan, and he says she's fine physically. She has PTSD. And doctors do this a lot in shows where they're like, this person is 100% fine physically.
Except in their brain, the thing that controls everything that they do.
Right.
Right?
The little blob of meat that ratatouilles their whole life is messed up. So,
Your ratatouille is misfiring.
More like ratatouille.
oh.
Hey!
Hey.
Ayo.
So the doctor is like, seems to have been submitted to psychological torture. Somebody's trying to systematically destroy her personality. And he's like, Captain is there, I guess, also. He comes in. Anyway, so the doctor's telling the three of them. And, he's like, I just don't know why someone would do this. It's terrible. And Sherlock is just sitting against the wall on the chair. He's like not engaging at all. The doctor is like telling him about her treatment and everything. And he is just like...
He doesn't like any of it.
No. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I am not listening. But he's like...
I choose not to engage with this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then... And then he also like... Once the doctor leaves, he's like, it's not a mystery why she's been tortured and had her personality removed. It's me. Moriarty's doing this to me. The show is about me, Sherlock Holmes.
Yep. I'm making this about me.
Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, it is, but it's still, it's very sad.
We don't know that. For all we know, Irene could have stolen a painting from Moriarty.
Hey.
That's a good point.
And he's out for revenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's mysteries.
And also just Sherlock happens to be there.
Yeah.
So Moriarty's like 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Joan is there and she's good.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like being a good friend to Sherlock, which is good.
Yes, she is extremely supportive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes like Captain's just like standing there like kind of just being like, "Whoa." Absorbing the information, and Joan is like, "Can we have some privacy?" And Captain's like, "Oh, right. Yes, I should leave."
Yeah.
I'm not involved in this. And Sherlock mentions something that I mentioned last episode, but we cut because we thought it was going to be too revealing or something, which is, where did all of that blood come from?
Where did all of that blood come from?
Sorry about it, but it's kissing time.
Uh-oh.
I hate to interrupt.
Fallon is here. They just got off work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so now I have to scratch their face, as you just heard.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Hello, whoever y'all are.
It's Val.
Hi, Fallon.
Oh, hi, Val. Oh, yeah, it's Penelope.
Yeah.
So then Joan is like, well, we've got a lot of clues, and we've got a lot of mystery to solve, and we're the 2 smartest people. We can figure this out. We can get him. And Sherlock is like, no.
Nah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I thought this was just him, like, recusing himself because he wanted to tend to Irene, but he also says, like, clearly I can't beat Moriarty. I shouldn't keep trying.
Yeah.
Very depressing scene.
Mm-hmm. You hate to see it.
You do. But also you like to because it's a TV show. So
Yeah.
it's not real,
You know.
Listen, Sherlock Holmes needs to be knocked down a peg or two.
And one extremely large peg.
Big old pig.
Now, because we have a guest on, and we're always talking about the intro sequence, again we have the short intro of 1 second of me. Elementary.
Yeah, wait, so Roy, when you watched the double feature, did you see the second intro? Or did it just, like, cut out the intro from the second half of the episode?
It didn't give me the intro for the second half of the episode. What it gave me was the full intro about 10 minutes into the first episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
So you saw the full intro.
I did see the full intro. It was good.
Nice.
I liked it when a rat.
The rat does run across the thing. Have we ever described it correctly?
I pretty much. I mean, I don't remember everything piece by piece. You can't expect me to, like, remember every single bit of a Pee Wee Herman Rube Goldberg device.
Exactly. So,
It's fun and good, though. I love those.
It's nice. I wish that you could see... Well, no. I mean, I was about to say I wish you could see the whole thing, but I don't need that. You just see the parts. Just
Yeah.
believe that they all work together.
Yeah. That's what faith is about. It's about believing in the big Rube Goldberg machine in the sky.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, it's like George Michael says. You have got to have faith.
You have got to have faith. By George's Michaels.
By the Michael George.
Michael George. It's a good song.
Yeah. It features a lot in Eli Stone. That's why I always
yeah.
think about it.
Oh.
So, anyway, now it's 3 days later, and I like that they say 3 days later because I feel like a lot of shows, people are just taken home from the hospital, like, as soon as they want to. It's like, people gotta, rest and things.
Yeah.
So they're back at the brownstone, and they're showing Irene the guest room that she'll be staying in.
And this is the first time I've ever actually realized anything about the layout of the brownstone. Apparently the kitchen is downstairs.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out how these rooms fit together.
They just move however they need to.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that might be true.
It's modular. It's just pods.
Uh-huh.
It's Legos.
It's like the movie The Cube. That's just
Yeah.
all those rooms that are constantly moving around.
Yeah, they live in a Rubik's Cube.
Maybe it's like Hogwarts wasn't magical, just all buildings in England are like that.
I think that might just be how it is.
Or wait, but they're in New York City. And Sherlock was just like, I need a building that reminds me of home.
Yeah.
In
Londoners, please confirm.
So, Sherlock's like, all right, so I'm gonna make you some tea, and they, Sherlock and Joan go into the kitchen, and Joan is like, so what's the plan? And Sherlock's like, I'm gonna look after her. There is no step 2. And, it's nice. Joan is like, is it too crowded in here? Should I leave? Just being, like, really considerate, and Sherlock's also like, no, this is your home. You gotta stay.
Yeah. Which was nice.
Yeah. And then he says that she's got to get cracking on the case. And she's like, okay, here I go.
I like the way he says it, though, because his water's boiling. So he says, it sounds like my tea's getting hot, and your case is getting cold.
Hey, he's doing some fun wordplay, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she also is like, this might be a relapse trigger. And he's like, I'm too busy for that, so we're good. Bye. So now Joan meets the captain at the place where they found, the house where they found Irene. They have this great establishing shot of like one police guy, like just derping around in front of the gate. He's not doing anything. He's just like standing there.
Yeah.
But I love that he got paid like a full day's work to just be in uniform and on screen for like 2 seconds.
He got guard duty. Mm-hmm. Extra guard duty.
God, I wish that were me.
Yeah, same. So they're looking around, they're trying to find clues, and Belle is here.
Woo!
Woo. Roy, what did you think of Belle?
Hold on, I'm having to look at my notes. I'm still learning people. I'm still learning people.
He is on screen for very little time, so I wouldn't put it past you to have no opinion of him at all.
I liked him.
He's also very little on screen later on. He's whoever cast that scene and they were like, can we get police officers over 6 feet tall, please? Just a jerk
He
move.
was very small. They gave him the manliest vibe.
Well, they put Captain is like standing on a step, so he's like on a step up, and Marcus is like a little bit further behind him and shorter. Yeah, he is extreme. Yeah.
Me and my dad are gonna take you down.
Yes.
I'm inspecting the scene. I liked him. No, I did. I liked him. He was fun.
Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, we found the owner of this place. He's 9 and he lives in Austria. So he doesn't know anything about anything.
We contacted the boy landlord.
And nothing. And then Joan notices a little jar of yellow powder. This is yellow pigment called gamboge. So she's like, Sherlock's been having me do these readings where I like learn about like art forgery and stuff. Can't imagine what would have made him think of those things that would prompt him to teach her about them.
Yeah, your reading assignments this week are art forgery and incredible sex that I've had in New York.
London.
Oh, you're right. They were in London.
London. Yeah. Learn about what it means to be blonde and look like Natalie Dormer.
Yeah.
So she notices this gamboge pigment that's very rare, and there can only be, there must only be a few shops that sell it, so we can track down the owner. Track down the buyer, and that might lead us to something. And Belle is like, it's just like having Holmes here, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a nice little proud moment for Joan.
Doesn't she like do like a cute little smile at herself?
Yeah.
She proud of herself. It's good.
Yeah. She's a detective too.
Yeah. She's like, I'm a big kid.
She was a doctor, so she must just have this skill. But like, the fact that Joan reads things that Sherlock gives to her and like absorbs all of the information in it, I'm always just like, how? How?
That's a doctor thing. Before you even get into medical school, you have to learn all 206 bones, what bones that they attach to, all 500 plus muscles, as well as their insertion and whatever else it's called point. I don't even remember all the different... It's literally, a muscle attaches at 2 points, the insertion point and the something else. And I don't remember what that is. And doctors have to know all 3 things for every single muscle.
Wow. Well, the head bone is connected to the neck bone. So...
That is true.
There's 2.
Only 204 to go.
Roy, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I've just been laughing. I'm having a little laugh.
Okay. Apparently Discord doesn't want us to know that you're having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm having a really good time, and Discord is over here fucking all of us. What a terrible program.
We have not heard you laugh, like, once. Maybe
it
once.
Fucking sucks. I've been laughing, like, the entire time. God damn it.
Rip.
Bad program. Awful.
Bad Discord.
Bad Discord. Mean. You'll hear it on the actual good recording of the thing that I'm actually recording it. The file. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called.
The file. Audacity.
The Audacity file.
As opposed to the audacity of Discord of not playing us your audio.
The audacity of Audacity.
Mm-hmm. That's the
name
Audacity.
Audacity is less audacious, so I think we're good. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't. My head is falling off. I'm not gonna try to reason it out anymore.
The Audacity of Discord is the name of my biography.
Yeah.
But I'm only going to publish it after I become president. So now we're back in London, approximately 2 years ago. This is a few weeks after, what we saw the first time. And so Irene is leaving her apartment, and Sherlock is like...
Jumps out of a bush.
Yeah, he's like, this is a coincidence. I'm not ambushing you.
He's like, I didn't mean to ambush, because I am bush.
In the bush.
Hey!
I am in bush.
I'm in bush.
And he's like, so, hey, we had a lot of sex, and we had a good time, and that was a few weeks ago, and now you keep saying no to me. Me, Sherlock Holmes, who is smart and interesting and good at sex.
Yeah, we had such a wonderful day and evening.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't get it, I'm not usually I'm not used to rebuffs. And she's like, you're not used to being rebuffed. You think you're special, and you are.
After Christian Bale had lost all that weight to play whatever character that was, when he played Batman again, he had to rebuff.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
He did. So Irene says, listen, it was great, but that's exactly why I can never see you again. Please leave my life forever.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Never say to me the words Sherlock Holmes ever again.
Yeah. Never say to me. It's like that tweet that was like, I had a crush on a girl growing up and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just wrote her a note that said, leave my school.
Yeah.
It's that.
It is.
And she's like, listen, people don't treasure things anymore. You know, you gotta savor it. And the only way to savor it is by never doing it again. And Sherlock's like, don't like that. But what if I gave you a new, completely unique experience they've never had before?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's a pretty tall order. I don't think you can do that.
It's like, I've done a lot of things.
I've got a lot of activities in places.
She says, I have done many things, and the dick was bomb. So, got your work cut out for you.
And then he's like, well, watch this. And then he peeps and poops at the same time.
Oh, no. He makes the Johnny Lee Miller very red face. Peeps and poops.
Peeps and poops.
And he says, you know, if you don't mind getting your clothes dirty, I think it'll fit the bill. So he teaches her how to peep and poop as well. She says, wow, I'm shitting and peeing.
I'm a natural at this.
Gross. So, it's not that. It's a different thing. Which is, it's another thing that I feel like crime shows do a lot, which is, it's the secret underground tunnels of the city that no one explores anymore because they're closed off to the public. That and pneumatic tubes are in every crime show.
Yep. Gotta have them both.
Roy, do you know about the tubes?
I have seen many tubes. It's tubes.
Was one tube better than the other, or were the tubes tied?
Hey!
Anyway, so he's like, you know, there's these underground tunnels, and I was exploring them, and they're closed off to the public because they flood a lot, but I made my own map of them, and I realized, like, oh, there's this one, you know, leading here, and another one leading the same direction. There's this gap in the middle. I imagine that I figured out there must be tunnels that are blocked off. And so he used a little dynamite, and he, you know, blew up a little section of it, and turns out he was right. There are some hidden tunnels.
Nothing more Sherlock Holmes than just using some unsanctioned dynamite in the underground tunnels.
Yeah.
Let's see what's down here.
Who could it hurt? He's got to know if he's right.
He gets his big TNT plunger out.
He makes sure the cord is very far away.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
He has this giant oversized mallet just in case he needs a backup plan.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so, yeah, they go in these this tunnel, and there's, like, these canals that are from, like, Roman times, and there are prayer tablets in the walls from, like, ancient Romans. And he says, you and I are the only two people who know about this.
And all of the viewers at home.
And everyone watching CBS on Thursdays at 9 p.m. So, now we go back to present day, and Sherlock is lying on his couch, fully clothed. Was he just like, I'm gonna go, quote-unquote, nap. I'm just gonna go lay horizontally.
Well, do you think any time Sherlock rests, he doesn't have rest clothes?
I hope he does. I hope he has, like, a little striped pajama set that he wears every time, and we just never see it.
He has a long nightgown and a floppy hat, and he walks around with his slippers on and his little candlestick.
The candle. Yeah.
I mean, he's British, you know?
He's British.
That's what they do.
That's my proof.
I mean, they show him in the evening wearing sweats and t-shirt, but that's his walking around outfit, and then he'll put on his pajamas.
Yeah.
Or his long night dress.
Yeah, his long funny night dress.
I could see him being like, this is the most effective night garment, Joan. I don't know. I don't know why everyone doesn't wear...
He's like, people tend to overheat when they sleep, which slows down vital organ functions. And the nightgown allows draft that keeps my innards cool. Joan.
Joan. And the buttons are really easy to take on, open up so I can take it on off.
And I also like the butt flap.
And I like the
I don't know why we need a butt flap when it's in an open dress.
A dress, yeah. Just to be safe.
You never know.
Just for fun.
Yeah. I mean, if he's peeing and pooping at the same time.
Exactly. You can never have too many openings in your
That's what I'm
outfits. Saying. So, Irene, screams she had, she must have had some nightmare about her captivity, and Sherlock rushes in, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go get you some water. And Irene just says, like, the most upsetting thing, because she's like, no, come here, sit on the bed with me, like, tell me how you've been, how have the last 2 years been treating you? Basically, it's just like, well, I destroyed my life because you died. Yeah. That's been my whole thing, basically.
And now I have a friend.
Now I have one friend.
I made one, in parentheses, one friend.
The numeral and the word written out.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, luckily, Joan comes in right at that time, so Sherlock doesn't have to say any of that.
Yeah.
So what she has learned is that her tip paid off, the thing about the gamboge, the yellow paint, and it was bought by this guy named Dwayne Proctor, who, like, has priors and...
And has a parole officer.
Yeah.
And he's living with his brother.
And he's shady.
And he's shady. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you do a crime once, you might do it again.
You never know.
Another one. So they go to Isaac Proctor's house, who's Dwayne's brother, and he's not home. So Isaac is like, I don't know, my brother's been normal. I don't know.
He's off doing regular man stuff.
The brother comes home, and this is where we get Marcus being
and NYPD's tallest cops go to interrogate him.
So the place where the fence closes, there's like a little step up, and Captain gets to stand on that. And so he's like 6 foot whatever plus a couple more inches, and then Marcus is just like, so tell us where you've been. He just looks like a little baby boy.
He's so small.
He's a short king.
He's a little buddy.
Yeah.
For the record, John Michael Hill, a.k.a. Marcus Bell, a.k.a. Love of My Life, is short king 5'5".
5'5". Yes.
5'5".
This man is shorter than Eddie Colazzo.
Hey!
Johnny Lee Miller is 5'11", and Aidan Quinn, Captain Gregson, is 6 foot on the dot.
Boop. The shorter you are, the better detective you are. No.
That's just how it is.
It's because you get closer to the clues.
5'5". Wow. He really doesn't look it.
I thought
so
he was
good,
a
though.
perfectly normal height of 5'7".
Yeah, me too. Me too. Maybe they put him on, like...
Maybe he got those Iron Man shoes.
Right, that Robert Downey Jr. wears? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe he's got those go-go boot platform shoes.
He's walking around on 2 Robert Downey Jr.'s.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dwayne Proctor is saying to the normally amount of short Marcus Bell and Captain, and he says, I bought that paint for my brother. I'm not the shady one. Yeah, he's like teaches an art class, and you need me to buy these paints. And then we hear a gunshot.
Bang, bang!
From inside the house.
And there was, one little cop dude staying behind with Isaac, and now he's on the ground.
Ooh,
bullets in the chest. And he's like, he went out back.
And they don't get him.
They don't get it. He gets away.
He ran away. He's too fast.
Sad.
Remember that episode where... This hasn't happened yet, but remember that episode where somebody ran away from the police in his towel and then his towel fell?
No.
That was funny. That's gonna be a funny episode.
The police sirens weren't the only thing flashing.
Exactly. So anyway, they bring in Dwayne Proctor because, close enough. Bella's interrogating him and he's saying, I don't know why my brother did crimes. He seemed like a smart guy.
He's like, I had nothing to do with this. I don't want to go back to jail.
I like that. As if there's ever been somebody who's like, you know what? Fuck you. I want to go back to prison.
Well, do we want to get depressed here and talk about...
No.
Okay.
I'm not talking about recidivism. There's another episode where somebody who's in a gang... Well, that's not really the same. He was like, he's in for life, so he's like, I did all of the murders. Like, absorbing as many charges as he can. But that's not to get more time. That's just because he already has a bunch of time.
He's helping his bros out. Babe,
Anyway.
if you ever did a crime, I would totally take the fall for it.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I'd snitch you out in a fucking second.
Yeah. So Roy, would you go to jail if Fallon did a... Well,
A
it's hard.
felony?
Can I tell you? Somebody, they went to like a coffee place or something one time, and they put in their order, and when they got their order back, the person had spelled their name Felon. Felon. So we call them felons sometimes.
I'll have a venti mocha. I am, you can put that under Mr. Crime. This is my name.
One venti mocha for misdemeanor.
Please, my mother is misdemeanor. Call me,
Call me Missy Misdemeanor Elliot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Miss D. Meaner is a great murder mystery name.
It's true.
Ooh.
Mr. and Miss D. Miller.
Hey.
I mean, Meaner.
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 Mr. Meaner.
Mr. Meaner.
And Misty Meaner.
Misty
Wiener.
Meaner.
Misty Meaner.
Hey.
The daughter of Mr. and Missy Misdemeanor. Anyway, so they're talking to the brother, and Irene is in the observation room, and she's like, I don't recognize him.
Well, first off, we kind of skipped over this. She said that she's only ever dealt with one person, Mr. Stapleton, and she never actually saw his face because he always wore this. It reminds me of the blue mask that Zuko wears in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It is kind of like that.
Yeah,
It looked like the mask emoji.
Yeah. It's like an Oni mask.
it's his only one.
Hey!
She only ever saw him wearing that.
Jesus Christ.
So, Irene is brought in, and she's like, I don't recognize him, and it's hard to tell if that's the right person because he's behind a mask.
Well, she does say, I don't recognize his voice, and then they show the passport of Isaac, the brother, and she's like, well, I can't hear his voice from this passport, so I super don't recognize him.
Yeah. And I like Joan's reaction here. She was like, that's okay. You're brave for even coming down here. And so Sherlock is like, okay, we're gonna go home now. And he and Irene leave. And Joan is talking to Captain about the cop that got shot. And he's recovering. He was shot in the middle of an episode. He's
6 broken ribs, a punctured lung. But he's
Regular
fine.
shit.
But he'll be fine.
He was shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Which Gregson says is interesting because Isaac very easily... He had like an arsenal of weapons. Clearly a trained professional.
Joan is like, oh, he's lucky he was wearing his vest. And Captain is like, he's lucky he decided to shoot his vest.
He's lucky the writers decided to let him live.
Yeah.
Which that is kind of like never really brought up again. Like, does Isaac... He's not really a bad guy. He just works for a bad guy. Like,
I think it's just that he didn't need to kill him, so he didn't. But I guess if he had yeah, it's a good question. I don't think it's supposed to mean anything.
yeah.
I think it's just phew, the cop didn't die.
Oh, thank goodness. He had a fictional family.
Yeah, he had a fictional kid on the way. Season 2, he has a kid. We never see him again.
We might, but we just don't care.
So now we go to Isaac, who is in some motel or other. And when we first met him, he was wearing a bad wig. And now he's been allowed to take the wig off.
He's bald and has just it's not quite a handlebar mustache.
Just a mustache.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very pedophilic, evil kind of man mustache.
Very long, straight mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad man stash.
So he's
So it's what I call my box of old porno magazines.
my bad
That's
mustache.
my bad man stash. I've been a bad man.
So he's in the motel and he gets a call and he's like, "Oh, finally you call me, my evil cohorts." And they're like, "Oh, we had to talk to Moriarty. It's been hard to get a hold of Moriarty." And I think that's it. I don't think there's any other information in that scene.
Yeah.
So he was just like, "Can you help me escape?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course. We're Moriarty's crew. We can fucking do anything."
It's not going to be...
Who runs the world? Moriarty's crew. It's not as catchy.
So now we go to... well, it shows us at the brownstone for a second where Irene is flipping through the channels and Sherlock is just watching her, but then it goes into his brain and it's a flashback to London.
It's 22 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 months after they first met.
Yeah, I just kind of liked the way that they did the flashbacks. It was like a little over 2 years ago, a little under 2 years ago, 22 months ago.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, which means approximately 2. Or exactly 2, depending on who you're talking to. Anyway, so the flashback is to London, where they've just had Sanks. They've done Yeah.
I'm doing the funny
What was that?
finger motion about it.
Into your other hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I'm normal. And he's doing some case solving, and she's like, "Really? Right now? Like, I'm naked, and you're solving a case." And he's like, "My brain has so many chemicals in it now. This is ideal case solving time." And it's actually, he's trying to track down M. So he was tracking M before Irene was ever involved.
I just got very confused for a second of what we were talking about, because M in the elementary universe is Morin,
Sebastian Moran.
the big bad guy. But you and I just finished a Tommy and Tuppence Agatha Christie book, N or M.
Oh yeah, where M is a German spy.
And M is a German Nazi spy. I was like, what? Worlds colliding?
Yes, this is a flashback to 70 years ago. No.
So he's looking at a picture of M's little setup with the machine.
He's explaining the tripod to her and everything. And then he's like, "You know what? You're right. I shouldn't be solving a case right now. I should be giving you smooches and such."
Yeah.
And they have some, smart people banter about "You're rude, but I like it. You're rude too, because you're so honest. People take that for rudeness."
We're just too smart for everyone else. We're two rude boys.
Two rude boys.
Come on, rude boy. That's what Irene says. And he notices that she has a constellation on her back. A Riga. A Wooga.
In birthmarks, like moles.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a tattoo or anything.
Yeah, her tattoo, not tattoo. Her birthmarks look like the constellation.
Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Like, look at some of the birthmarks you have and like, draw connections between them and see what you got going on?
I never did, because I always got a triangle.
I actually have, right on my right arm, I have some of them that look exactly like the Big Dipper.
Oh.
So this was where I was kidding and standing, because I said the same birthmarks.
Hey, it's me.
It's me.
On the television screen.
It's me, that's me. I'm looking at me on TV.
And then, when we were watching this, you were like, he has hair everywhere except his bicep.
He has such hairy forearms and a hairy chest, and then as soon as it hits the bicep, up to the shoulder, bare.
It's like the t-shirt farmer's tan is also where the hair stops.
Oh my god.
It's very stark.
In Agatha Christie, we just read last night, there were some sunbathers, and Mrs. Gardner was like, oh, those ladies are gonna get hair all over their arms and backs from lying out in the sun.
Maybe that's what happened to
That's what it was.
Johnny Lee Miller, yeah. Oh, man. But anyway, the last thing in this scene is he's like, so when are you going to show me your original art? Because I know you have a secret project going on. Every time I've come over the last couple times, the guest room has been closed, locked, and I assume that's where your new project is. And you have, like, paint flecks of different colors on your hands.
That don't match the projects I've seen you working on.
Little mystery.
Yeah.
And I like this. He's like, I thought you said that you didn't have anything to add to the art world. And she was like, well, that was months ago. That was 2 months ago.
Things have changed.
Rip to the past me.
But I'm different.
I don't know her.
Yeah. Now we go back to the present day in the brownstone, and Irene is like, so, must suck for you to see me like this. And Sherlock is like, yeah, I'm going to tell you what happened to me since in the last 2 years. So, here's the deal. I got addicted to heroin. Oops.
Yeah.
I just wrote Sherlock explains drugs, so that's as detailed as I ever took notes on that scene.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. He does that.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I like about this scene is it just like, I like how Elementary, the show as a whole, deals with addiction. And he has a line in here that I like where, she basically says like, oh, you're better now, though. And he's like, no, I'm sober now. I'll always be an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He says, it's like Val said in that episode of LMNOP, I am a pickle. He said that.
He does say that word for word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Irene goes into her room and she screams because Mr. Stapleton used to leave her white peonies at her bed, and there's a white peony in her room now.
Oh, shit.
And she's like, he's been here! Mr. Stapleton's been here! Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Ah, crud.
But so now we go back to a flashback of, like, a year and a half ago, or, like, what? It doesn't say. It just says London.
Yeah.
And it plays a voicemail that Irene left Sherlock that's like, my original work is gonna be on display in my apartment. You're allowed to come see it. Come before 5 or it'll go into the fire. And he's got a little champagne and he's dressed in a nice suit and a little tie.
He looks so good.
Mm.
He's so dressed up in his little man suit.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm sorry I'm late. I have a really interesting excuse. And he sees a sign with the same like ransom note thing that M's letters are in, and it says, I believe Miss Adler was to show you a new piece of art this evening. Tell me, what do you think of mine, M? And there's a huge puddle of blood on the ground.
And he drops the champagne and it shatters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
big bummer of scene.
So sad.
I'm
I
frowning.
wanted to see what she was gonna paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, luckily, she didn't really die, so there's that,
Yeah.
I guess.
For the positive.
So, back to the present, Irene is like, you said we were going someplace safe. This is an old garage. And Sherlock's like, it's a safe house.
Hello. Yeah.
The explanation he gives is like he solved some crime for somebody, and in exchange they
Gave him some
like,
property.
oh yeah, here's just property.
Yeah. Have fun paying the taxes on this.
Yeah. And she's like, how do you know we weren't followed? And he says, I've used every counter-surveillance method known to man and some only known to me. So he's
Sherlock is Man 2.0.
he's the sequel to Man.
Yeah. Man upgrade.
So good. And so she's like, well, should we like call the police and stuff? And he's like, yeah, I texted Watson. That's basically the same thing. She's on it. And so Sherlock says, this flower on your bed was a message. And the message was, you up? No. The message was, Irene's not safe if she's around you, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock is like, you gotta leave.
Can't stay here. I'm gonna fly you off to Nowheresville. And then when everything's safe, I'll come find you.
You don't have to go home. And in fact, you probably shouldn't. But you can't stay here.
Yeah. It's like the famous song of 1990s. Yeah.
And Irene is like, but what if we didn't do that? I have another idea. And then we don't get to hear what it is. We have to cut away from the scene, of course. So they're at the police station, and they're looking at security camera footage from the Brown house. Nope. Brownstone.
The Stone House.
The Stone house. Brown house is what I call my bathroom.
Hey!
So they look on the security cameras, and the person that dropped off the peony is Isaac.
You can tell from the evil mustache.
Yeah. It's a pretty clear photo.
Yeah, and the bald head and the rest of his face.
Well, I mean, he wasn't bald when they met him, but yeah, same diff.
Right. Yeah, whatever.
We can tell as the audience that it's him because of the bald head.
Yeah.
So then Captain is like, so Joan, have you heard from Sherlock? And Joan is like, no, have you? And he's like, no, have you? And she's like, no, have you?
And then there's a knock on the door, and he's like, hey, you got a call from Sherlock Holmes on line 1?
They don't have an intercom system at the police station.
Nope.
They just have extras. I love it. So Captain answers the door. Nope.
You'll get there.
Yeah, one day. So Captain opens. Nope.
So Captain picks up the phone, line 1, and says, hello, Sherlock, this is your friend Gregory. And Sherlock says, nothing.
His name is Tommy Gregson.
Yeah. Greggy
That sounds
for
like a
short.
fake name.
And then Gregory for long. So... What?
I thought I said Greggy, but you're right, I said Gregory.
Yeah. Anyway, so while he's on the phone being like, hello? Joan gets a text that says, I'm here. I'm in the observation room and I only want to talk to you. It's a very interesting way of making sure that the captain didn't see Joan get a text.
She's like, I'm going to get a coffee. You want one? You want one? No? Okay.
Great. I'm not going to get you one because I'm not getting one. What? And she goes to the observation room. She meets Sherlock in there.
Who's sitting in the corner in the dark.
Yes. He must have brought his own chair or something. There aren't usually chairs in there. And, she doesn't sit down. There isn't a second chair.
He's got his own embroidered cushion.
So, she's like, well, there's so much to catch you up on the case. Isaac was on the security cameras, but he made a beeline straight to Irene's room. How would he know that? He went in through the kitchen. And it turns out that Isaac worked as a psychological torturer for the CIA in the 90s.
Interesting job.
So, seems like we got him. Seems like that's a bad guy.
Roy, you cut out there for a second. Did you say that is your dream job?
No, I said, God, no. I said interesting job. Please, listeners, believe me when I say I don't want to be a psychological torturer. That's a mean man job.
Sure.
Listen, you gotta believe me.
Have we all thought about it? Sure. But so she tells him all of this stuff, and Sherlock is like, that's cool. Anyway, I'm leaving New York forever. So, goodbye. And Jonah's like, what? And he's like, well, it's the only way that Irene and I can be together is if we both leave. If we escape together. And I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to do it. And Jonah's like, you shouldn't do that. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like it.
She's like, I can't hold this show all on my own for the next 6 seasons.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? Like the later seasons of Glee, where we split screen time? And then she says, "Is this what you think? Is this what you want, or is this what you think you owe?" And Sherlock's like, "It's not what I think. I know it's what I owe." Which, okay, you think you know that. And Joan says, this is what Moriarty wants you to do, which means it's a mistake. And Sherlock just looks at her and just leaves silently. It's sad. Can you imagine if this was actually their goodbye? It was him just being like, okay, I'm leaving forever. And her being like, don't. And then he just leaves.
Yeah, he's just like, I'll come back when you dismantle Moriarty's whole entire criminal enterprise. Goodbye.
Please and thank you. Bye.
Peace out. I'm outie of here.
I'm outie of here.
Yeah.
So now we go back to Isaac Proctor, and he's being kind of badass. He's in a storage container, and there's some goons in the storage container, and a car. And the head goon says, okay, take the keys to this car and drive it for forever till you don't see us in your rear view mirror. I don't know. He's like, this is your getaway car. And tosses him the keys. But Psych is not his escape vehicle. One of the goons is taking out some piano wire to strangle him. But double Psych, Isaac gets the jump on them, and
because he sees that there's a steel drum in the back of the SUV, the perfect size to put a dead body in. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so I have to leave forever? I can't even call home?
Mm-hmm. I can't even, hey Siri, call cell?
And call home it does. His cell phone calls his other cell phone, and that ringer is emergency sirens. Mm-hmm. And so the goons are like, the cops are here. Mm-hmm. And so they turn to look at that, and Isaac whips out his gun, bang bang, shoots them. Mm-hmm. And so it's just the head goon left.
Yes. And the head goon is like, you got sloppy, so we have to kill you. Classic goon conversation. You got sloppy.
Goon shit only.
And then the goon is like, because Isaac has his gun out to this guy, and so he's like got his hands out, and Isaac shoots him in the hand. And he's like, give this message to Moriarty. Fuck you.
Holy shit.
Here's a stigmata just for you. And then he says, Sherlock is a dead man. Ha-ha! And he runs away into the night.
Now, my only problem with this scene is it has a shot of the car in the storage thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering how the fuck you get into that car. Because it was just enough room for that car to fit in the storage container. Do you have to climb over the car, pop the trunk, climb through the car to get into it? Or were they going to tip the storage container so it slowly rolled out? There was not enough room to open up any of the doors.
Oh
Maybe
God.
The window was rolled down?
It's still a tight fit.
I don't.
Maybe climb through the sunroof.
Roy, do you have any ideas?
Maybe they have one of those, like, things that some cars have where, like, the back seat folds down and you can get in through the trunk, and, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. Maybe they have, like, a special gun hole in the trunk that also some cars have.
Uh-huh.
You know.
The gun hole.
The gun hole.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like one of those precursors to the Tesla, where like you push a button and it parallel parks and or drives out of a storage container.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get into it till after it's out of the storage container.
Yeah.
So now Sherlock has returned. Now we're done with that scene. So Sherlock returns to the safe house and he's like, I've gotten you some new clothes and I've been away for so long. I got a lot of things and stuff. And so he's talking about his plans of how they're going to escape. And Irene has just been in the shower. She's wearing a robe. Her hair is wet.
Ooh.
Which means she's a Nike.
Ooh.
She must be wearing underwear, though, because he gives her clothes and she puts on jeans. But you don't see her put on underwear.
Maybe the underwear was already in the jeans, and it was just one of those.
Yeah.
You ever put them on at the same time? No, me neither.
But they were new. It's not like she took them off and put them on the floor like that and then put them back on. Something I also have never done, especially after a shower.
We're all different.
Roy, your silence is... It feels judgmental.
I'm not judgmental. I hate this. Stupid Discord.
Okay,
this is all Discord's fault.
Yeah, all I heard from was different. So if you were saying stuff before that, yeah.
What did I even say? I already forgot. I got too mad and I forgot.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't wait to hear this later.
It's gonna be a whole new experience.
Yeah, you know.
Listeners, just know that we are laughing at Roy's jokes also. we just don't know it yet.
Yeah, please believe us.
So Irene is not Joan, because when Sherlock gives Joan clothes to put on, she puts them on under the blanket. But when Irene gets clothes from Sherlock, she just whips her shirt off, puts the other one on. She's turned away from the camera, but still.
Yeah.
You know?
You know.
It's almost like one of them has had sex with him and the other one hasn't. He doesn't want to. It's a personality difference.
You know.
Anyway, so yeah, he's like, we'll get a Greyhound to Maine, and now I know this guy who's going to give us passports, and when we get to Maine, and blah, blah, blah. And then he, like, trails off because he's seeing her naked back, which I thought was maybe just like, wow, naked.
He's just like, damn, Natalie Dormer, hello.
Wow.
Which is a mood.
And she's like, huh, so you don't have any, that's as far as you got? That's fine, we'll figure it out as we go. And then she turns around, and Sherlock is just like, how dare you?
Very angry.
He's very angry, and he runs up to her and grabs her by the shoulders and like turns her around and looks at her back again, and she's like,
WTF, bro?
What are you doing?
Yeah, he yell.
And he's like, your birthmarks, your constellation, you know, one of them is missing, so you had this mole surgically removed since the last time I saw them, which was 2 years ago. So when did you start working for Moriarty? Because that's the only way she could have had surgery to remove, like, biopsy and then remove a precancerous mole.
Right, why the fuck would your captor give a shit if you had a possibly cancerous mole? Mm-hmm. And when would your captor have time to get a doctor, a dermatologist to check out your back?
Right.
Yeah.
But also, like, be sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
And this is really good acting from Johnny Lee Miller. He's like, because he's really, really mad, but he doesn't just, like, yell the whole time. Like, there's a lot of, like, whispering also.
Yeah, he's very upset.
I feel like if you were doing, like, an acting class on, like, volume, using the differences in volume for different impact, like, you would show this scene. Because he's like, your birthmarks, you had them surgically removed. Your birthmarks!
Yeah.
It's very cool. So he's like, okay, so when did it start? When did you start working for Moriarty? Because you must be. Was it before you even got kidnapped? And
she just starts turning on that gaslight.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
you just get like this.
Yeah, you sometimes just look at the small details so much and you just start making shit up, crazy boy.
Yeah. You just get like this.
Yeah, this is very, like, she does not explain
The thing that he notices at all.
Yep. Don't like that.
And then Sherlock is like, so you're the reason that Isaac knew exactly where the room was, and he made a beeline for it because you told Moriarty. And she's just like, you just don't want to come, and you're picking a fight to find a reason to not escape with me. And then she like packs up her stuff, and she's like, you know, Moriarty is a lot like you. You know, I bet if he wasn't your enemy, he'd be your friend. Never talk to me again.
Fucking
And she leaves.
sick burn.
And she's just like, when you realize the mistake you've made,
Don't find me.
It's gonna be too late.
It's too late.
and Sherlock's head explodes, basically.
Roy, what are you thinking at this point?
Okay, so here's the thing. I have never watched the show of NBC Elementary before, but
Or CBS.
CBS.
or CBS, whichever one. All of the networks are exactly the same.
Yes.
They're all fucking owned by, like, the same two people. See if I care. Everything's a monopoly. But I hadn't seen it before, so... but somehow, and at some point somewhere, and gun to my head, I couldn't tell you how, I think I had heard of what the big twist here is. And... but it was like, I didn't remember it until just here, because I was like, okay, something is going on here. I know it's not just, surface level what's happening. That goes without saying, because it's Sherlock adaptation.
Yeah.
And, this was about where it started kicking, and then I was like, I remember what the twist is. Why do I know that? And that's what I was thinking. And then for the rest of it, I was like, why do I know that? And I still don't know why I know it, but, like, it's for me, even if I figure something out beforehand, like, if it's something that I'm not familiar with, or even if it is something that I'm familiar with and I just haven't consumed the media yet, I'm still always super interested to see how all of it unfolds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm watching now. I am watching with my eyes and all of my brain. I'm using more than 10% of my brain, and most of that is going towards watching the TV program.
You were kind of Kyle XYing it.
I was kind of Kyle XYing it.
He uses more than 10% of his brain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when I saw this scene like a couple days ago, like obviously I had seen this before, but when he's like, your birthmarks, one of them is missing, I was like, she's got plastic surgery, she's not really Irene.
Yeah.
And that's why she's not denying it. But no. Anyway. So.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta get a mole removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Sherlock is back at the Brownstone, and he's leaving a voicemail for Joan.
I'm sorry, real quick, I gotta point out that this scene, we actually have a net gain, or a net zero of moles. Because if Irene lost a mole, that means she is a mole.
Hey!
It's like if you kill a killer, there's the same number of killers in the world.
Yeah. It's laws of philosophy.
So yeah, Sherlock is back at the Brownstone, and he's leaving a voicemail for Joan, and he's like, hey Joan, it's me. So like, so much has happened. You were right, I'm not leaving with Irene. I'm at the Brown... Oh! And then he goes to turn on a lamp, and he sees in the reflection of the chrome lamp that there's a dude with a gun pointed at him.
Uh-oh.
The dude with the mustache!
So he starts running away, and the dude shoots him, gets him in the shoulder. And he's like, hello, you remember me? And
Well, he's first like, oh, sorry, you weren't supposed to see this coming. Mm-hmm. I was trying to kill you the nice way.
right, by surprise.
And then Sherlock is like, it's nice to finally meet you, Isaac. What's your face?
Right.
And Isaac says, it's nice to see you again.
Yes, we met once before. And then Sherlock breaks off a piece of the stair railing and bonks him with it. and then runs away. Do you think that this was like a strategically placed stair railing?
Yes, because he doesn't, like, hit it or anything. It seemed like a stair railing that, like, maybe had fallen off and then, like, barely glued back on, just in case this exact thing happens. Oh, wait.
This might be the same stair railing that Joan and Reese were.
Yeah.
Yeah, were handcuffed to.
Yeah.
So maybe they broke the railing after that. And they were like, just in case somebody tries to handcuff us to this again.
To this one. Yeah, imagine getting handcuffed and being like, oh, bad guy, would you mind just handcuffing me to the third railing?
Just 'cause. It's my unlucky number.
It's my favorite one. If you're gonna leave me tied to one, at least make it the one that I like the mostest.
Exactly. Exactly. The lighting is the best here. And so he runs up and he runs to the media room, the room with all the TVs, and he barricades himself in. And Isaac explains that he was the sniper that killed whatever Douglas, that guy.
The black guy that was our first person in the Moriarty circle.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And he's like, wait, so you could have killed me then. Why don't you kill me now? And Isaac's like, well, I was under orders not to, but I got fired, so I don't
I was
care.
working before, and now this is just for fun.
And he breaks down the barricade.
Well, first, Sherlock is looking for a way out of here, and he opens up the window, and I thought he was just about to fucking drop out of the third story.
Oh my god. Yeah, but then he sees the concrete courtyard underneath.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
"Whoop."
oh man, I gotta move my dumpster back there.
Then he says, well, I was under orders not to kill you from Moriarty, but a couple hours ago, she tried to have me killed, so fuck that. And Sherlock says,
She?
she?
She got pronoun?
And she got pronouns?
And she got pronoun?
And Isaac goes to shoot Sherlock, and someone shoots Isaac,
Bang bang.
and we just see hands holding a gun, and the owner of the hands walks forward, and it's Irene!
It's Natalie Dormer in a ponytail!
It's Natalie Dormer! In an army jacket and her hair pulled back because she's evil now. And she says, bet you wish you'd run away with me now when you had the chance. And, you can't notice that she has an accent until she says chance.
Yeah.
Unless you're reading the subtitles, which say, in British accent.
In Natalie Dormer voice.
So there we go!
Hey.
Oh, shit! Okay, now,
gotta
we've been recording for an hour and 40 minutes. We have to do this entire episode again with this knowledge and pick apart everything Irene does for this entire 40-minute episode.
It's fucked up! Roy, we can't hear you.
It's fucked up. I've been yelling and screaming and saying it's fucked up the whole time.
God. Yes, it's crazy. It's, what? Natalie Dormer.
Natalie.
So yeah, this is the thing is I feel like a lot of people learned, oh, Natalie Dormer is Moriarty. And then they watch the show and it's like, oh, she's Irene. Wait, but she's Moriarty.
Yeah, this got spoiled for me on Tumblr years before I ever actually watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Natalie's trick, she's both.
She gets to do her American accent, which is of questionable quality, and her great British accent.
Yeah.
That's always good.
I'm putting a text-based joke that I don't think is going to come across verbally in the chat.
I think that will work.
Yeah.
Naughtily Dormer.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because she played a trick of us.
Yeah, Natalie's trick.
Yeah.
Like Natalie Dormer.
Oh.
Lies.
Damn.
She's been Natalie lying dormant.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stretch. Oh, well, Roy liked it, so.
Roy will make that sound at anything.
Listen,
No,
a
it was
lot of
good.
things
It was
just
fun.
invoke that response. Mm-hmm. Things are good often.
You're often thinking about things.
I am often thinking about things. Catch me thinking about things.
I could never.
Yeah. Alec cannot relate. But yeah, something's really struck me from, like, watching this, knowing, like the part where Irene is like, come sit with me, tell me about how the last 2 years have been.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
Like, she's being so intentionally cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, tell me how much I fucked with you.
I ruined your life, didn't I?
And then, the gaslighting scene makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that fucking
Just like,
sucks.
yeah. Because you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know who to believe. She's Irene.
It also makes me wonder about when she was like, this was a fun one-time thing, but, it's never going to happen again. Like...
Was that her intention, to be like, because I'm Moriarty?
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what you were like, but I can't actually date you.
Right.
I mean, I can't put it past Natalie Dormer to be completely aware of how bomb the pussy is, so...
It makes you question everything,
Yeah.
How much of it was real? I also really like the way, because after she's discovered, she says, like, you and Moriarty are a lot alike. I bet if he wasn't your enemy, he'd be your friend.
Yeah.
And, like, she's saying it as, like, a burn, but I wonder if in her mind she's like, oh,
Good eyes, Sherlock. If we weren't enemies, we'd be friends.
I bet if you two weren't enemies, you would make sweet, sweet, passionate love to one another.
like, that's her way of saying, like, I like you. Bye. Also, I wonder if she would have never revealed herself. Like, if he hadn't followed up with her a couple of weeks, like, if he hadn't called her and stuff, if she would have just been like, well, that was nice. Anyway, back to crime.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like, I don't know. We have no way of knowing. We may never know.
What are Natalie Dormers? We don't know.
We may never find out.
There's there's like a lot of like, okay, but then why did she do this and that? Like after she died and he started using, there was a hit put out on him because the guy was like, it would have been very easy to make it look like you had an accidental overdose, and then it was retracted. So like,
Yeah.
what, Moriarty's just like, kill him. No, don't. No, kill him. No.
Stop it! Oh my god!
Yeah, was she trying to get rid of him? Was she trying to stop him from being a detective? And then she got, like, sentimental and was like,
No, I like him.
Yeah.
Many options.
yeah.
But now that he's in New York, he probably, fucked with one of her criminal enterprises again. And she was like, wow, well, I guess I gotta teach him another lesson.
I gotta disrupt the flow of this man's life again.
Lord forgive me, but it's time to go back to the old me.
Real Moriarty hours now.
Yeah.
So,
So also, what was this painting that she was working on? Did it just say, ha ha ha, got you?
I think the guest room was where she used, where she drew out her blood to save up for the blood thing.
Ah.
And then she put paint on her hands to distract him. So he wasn't like, what's your blood project?
What are you painting all in red?
Yeah.
It's
It's a very elaborate...
yeah, it's a hell of a ruse. Speaking of paintings
You're
that she
saying
was
something.
working on, can we talk about, I forgot to mention this, when he first, in like the flashback, when he first goes to her place and they meet for the first time, how she's restoring the Kyle XY cover art.
Yes, she is. The incredulity of Thomas.
Yeah.
It's not the one where Jesus is like, here, poke my hole in my tummy.
Yeah, it's not the one
It's
where
like
Thomas
the
is
look
pogging.
It's the hand hole one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like that. The little nod to Kyle XY.
Couldn't be timelier.
I didn't realize the painting, but the painting, it also then relates to the car in the storage scene where he gets shot in the hand.
Hey!
Ah!
Manhole,
It's
car,
themes.
gun, car hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cargo space? No, cargo road.
It all connects together.
Onion have layer.
So, okay, so that was our episode. It's a to be continued, unless you're watching on the Bad Jeff's website,
Yeah.
and then it's just continued. But that's part one.
Yeah.
We did it. So we do have some questions. Some people asked us some questions. So firstably, if you would like to ask us a question or a comment on anything, you can tweet us at LMNOPcast on Twitter. So we have a question from our first guest of the show, Alex Leafcrunch, at Leafcrunch. And she says, as a lesbian, I consider Roy an expert on women. What would she rate this episode on a scale of women?
On a scale of women. I would say, if we're talking quantity, I would say many. If we're talking quality, my instinct is to go very, very high, but I gotta dock some points for the gaslighting thing because I'm not super cool about that. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 women.
Roy, I just like that your problem with the Lady Moriarty is not the fact that she's murdered plenty of people,
You gotta
Head
murder
of a
people
criminal
sometimes.
enterprise.
but that she was lying to her boy Sherlock Holmes.
It's mean
to her ex-boyfriend. I draw the line at boyfriend cruelty.
Listen, it's a tough world out there. Sometimes you gotta kill people. There's no excuse for gaslighting somebody.
That's true.
That's
you know?
Roy's law.
Roy's law.
Roy's law.
Gavel pound.
Yeah,
It is law.
it is law.
So yeah, like how Natalie Dormer, very, very good to look at.
Extremely good to look at.
Roy, what is you like her?
Yes, I like her.
I don't know. You know, sometimes people are like played out.
I haven't seen her.
Not Natalie Dormer.
I haven't seen her since the last time she did a painting, which was where she did a funny drawing of a flower and passed it to Elena Tyrell. So,
And Olena
yeah.
unfolded the paper and it was a gun.
Yeah. And it shot her in the face. And a little strip of paper came out of the gun barrel and it said bang. But yeah, no, I like her. I like her. She is simply good to me.
Yeah. Did you ever watch The Hunger Games? She's in one of the Hunger Games movies, apparently. I wonder if her American accent is any better in that.
Oh yeah, she was in
don't know
it.
Yeah, she's a camera operator in the third/fourth one. I don't remember if she did an American accent for that.
Yeah, yeah, because I know I saw that. I just don't. It was a very long time ago, and I'm old. So I mean, you
She had the
y'all brought it up last week that I'm quote unquote like 40. So which is the same number as 32. So yeah, I can't be expected to remember
Well, you're-
everything.
I mean, come on, Roy, you're closer to 40 than 30.
Yeah, I mean, once you hit 32, there's no going back. Might as well be.
Yes. Every number bigger than 10 is all the same.
Yeah, numbers are the same.
So, we have another question from another Alex. This is from Alex the Virgo from podcasts like City Girls Make Do. She asks, I'm catching up on episodes, so apologies if you've already answered this. We have not. But I just suddenly got reminded of when Angelina Jolie married Johnny Lee Miller in a t-shirt with his name on it, written in her own blood. My question is how to find someone down with your level of crazy.
Internet,
Internet. There you go.
website.
This fucking story threw me, because I was like, surely she's thinking of something else. There's no way that Johnny Lee Miller was married to Angelina Jolie, but he was.
Yeah, he super was.
They met- I think I think they met on the set of Hackers.
Yeah. The famous Angelina Jolie train wreck marriage that I remember was the Billy Bob Thornton one. So I was like, wait a minute, rewind, go back a minute. But no, I had to look it up because I was like, what? Who? Whoist? And then I looked it up and I found out, oh yes, this did happen. Christ, my God.
And it's easy to mix them up because she also used to wear a vial of Billy Bob's blood.
What else are you gonna do?
So it's just blood for her.
What better way to show your
Wild.
love and affection for your spouse?
Of all the fluids of them to carry around, blood is a pretty good one.
I mean, think about the other options.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Blood is the essential oil of the human body. You know?
Scentsy is selling me blood.
Put that in your diffuser. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
So those are all the questions. Those are all the questions that we got this week. Tweet us if you'd like. Join our Discord, which is our pinned tweet, for more things. Roy, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter. I am at _Benui_. That's BNUUY. I am on some podcasts. I have one that I do with my fiance called Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses. Val has been on it a couple of times. It's good. I also do one called Nana Roy's Night Marinara. And that one is also good and fun. I'm on HKIP sometimes. That's the it. That's the it.
In general,
what
did you think of Elementary? Did you like it?
I liked it. It was a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it too.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm Val Flightcub. You can find me on Twitter at FlightCub. The second B stands for Benui.
Yeah!
And I'm Alec, and you can find me staring at Johnny Lee Miller's hairless biceps.
Wherever they are, that's where you are.
Head magnetically pulled in the direction of Johnny Lee Miller's hairless bicep.
I'm like a magnet.
Yeah.
A compass.
Yeah.
This marble will keep on rolling. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play because I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. Oh, when that love comes down with a devotion, well, it takes a strong man, baby, but I'm showing you the door. 'Cause I gotta have faith.